For our show, you can pay attention to the main stage now. Sasha, you might recognize her ass as the left one. And this girl is going to be up here with Albert Fish, aka Josh Dent. Stop that. I got your music ready. Josh Dent has a present for you. Yes. His character was based off of a famous child killer by the name of Albert Fish. And keeping with the theme, which I might remind you of, the tribute to Columbine is not a shout out to shooting up your classmates. It's a tribute to the ridiculous bullshit that the media puts you through whenever something quote-unquote tragic happens because 4 fucking white kids in Boulder, Colorado decided that they would bring a gun to school. Now it's tragic and shit, but that makes bands like us. That's the reason you have Marilyn Manson, the Insane Clown Posse, is because the media buys into our garbage, and we thank you for buying into our garbage. If you want to stop the problem of people like us, the fuck out there and do something about your fucked up fucking world. But I'm gonna be nice right now. I'm passed off to Josh Dent. I'm gonna play your song. Ladies and gentlemen, Albert Fish would like to read you something. Tell him what it is.
What is it, Al? Well, back when I killed kids, I killed this little girl named Grace Budd, and I sent her family a letter. So now, I'm about ready to read you this letter, and that's why it is burned, is because it's been down in hell with me for 100 years. Are you ready? Yeah! Are you ready? Yeah! Are you ready? Yeah! Thank you. Dear Mrs. Budd, in 1894, a friend of mine shipped as a deckhand on the steamer Tacoma, Captain John Davis. They sailed from San Francisco to Hong Kong, China. On arriving there, he and 2 others went ashore and got drunk. When they returned, the boat was gone. Yeah! At that time, there was a famine in China. Meat of any kind was from $1 to $3 a pound. So great was the suffering among the very poor that all children under 12 were sold for food in order to keep the others from starving. A boy or girl under 14 was not safe on the street. You could go to any shop and ask for steak chops or stew meat. Part of the naked body of a boy or girl would be brought out and just what you wanted cut from it. A boy or girl's behind was the sweetest part of the body, and so his veal cutlet brought the highest price. John stayed there so long that he acquired a taste for human flesh. On his return to New York, he stole 2 boys, one 7 and one 11. Took them to his home, stripped them naked, and tied them in a closet. Then he burned everything they had on, several times every day and night. He spanked them, tortured them to make their meat good and tender. First he killed the 11-year-old boy because he had the fattest ass. And of course the most meat on it. Every part of his body was cooked and eaten except the head, bones, and guts. I even tried the penis on that one, even though it was a little too tough. Next, the little boy went the same way. He was boiled, broiled, fried, and stewed. At that time, I was living at 409 East 100th Street on the right side. He told me so good, often how good human flesh was, that I made up my mind to taste it. On Sunday, June the 3rd, 1928, I called on you at 406 West 10th Street, brought you pot cheese and strawberries. We had lunch. Grace sat in my lap and kissed me. I made up my mind to taste her, to eat her. On the pretense of taking her to a party, you said yes, she could go. I took her to an empty house in Westchester I had already picked out. When we got there, I told her to remain outside. She picked wildflowers. I went upstairs and stripped off all my clothes. Because I knew if I did not, I would get her blood on them. When she saw me, I told her to come upstairs. She was waiting by the window, so I called her. Then I hid in a closet until she was in the room. When she saw me all naked, she began to cry and tried to run down the stairs. I grabbed her and said she would tell her mommy. She would tell her mommy. Oh, first I stripped her naked. kick, bite, and scratch. Oh, yes. Oh, then I choked her to death. And I cut her into small pieces so I could take her meat back to my rooms, cook it, and eat it. How sweet and tender her little ass. Oh, yes. It took me 9 days to eat her entire body. Oh, I did not fuck her, though. That I wished I could have. She died a virgin. Ooh, what's this?
But he's a nice guy. Make some fucking noise, applause. This is theater at its worst.
So serious.
You just heard an actual letter that was written by the real life Albert Fish, is performed by the director of our Soundproof van video.
Stop doing that.
I know, really, dude. Like, stop doing. Once again, make some fucking noise for Josh Denner. You are not going to hear Wombstretcha. This is the last time we actually make a noise. This guy puts the EP in creepy right here. But look, ladies, Hair Club for Men is not just the client, but also the president. Albert Fish is really Cy Sterling. A lot of you might not know that.